Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm here with Esther Passaris and Mr. Sifuna, who was our Senate candidate, and Governor of Mr. And we would like to address you on the results of the Nairobi gubernatorial elections and the results of the senatorial elections and the women rep elections. These results as stands now is a sham and is not reflective of the true results that the Nairobians voted. From the time the results started appearing, the difference in percentages remained at 11% throughout, and the addition were at a constant of 10,000. And the differences between myself and Senator Mbuvi Sonko is 160,000. And it shows that, as been said earlier on, that is based on algorithm. We, on our own tallying, and our tallying shows us that I should have gotten 862,000 votes. So I am rejecting the results as they are at the moment until a new physical count is done and a new tally is done at the constituency level and at the county level. And what has appeared is consistent with what was earlier addressed with the interference of IBC database. And is also consistent with the difference that we've noted in the senatorial elections. So we will not accept the Nairobi gubernatorial elections until new physical count is done that is consistent with the signed forms and scanned forms that are transmitted.
Well, my name is Edwin Sifuna, Nairobi ODM Senate candidate, and just to reiterate the issues that have been raised by both our presidential candidate, the Honorable Raila Odinga, and the governor here, is that we are at a very critical stage in our country because what has been presented before you this morning is obvious evidence of subversion of the will of the people in the Republic. For us as Team Nairobi, we have seen a similar trend as the one that has been laid forward by the presidential team that lends credence to the suspicion that there was active interference with the will of the people even in the county of Nairobi. What was surprising is that even before, because many of us were physically present at many of these tallying stations and polling stations, even before any box containing the governor's ballots was counted anywhere in the county, we were actually seeing the database putting out results for the gubernatorial position. And you as the people in the Fourth Estate need to interrogate some of these things. From a legal perspective, we do know that it is a requirement of law that all results be backed up by the actual form, relevant forms, 34 for the presidential, 38, 33. But that's not what we are seeing. Even up to this morning, you have heard from Senior Orengo that we only have one from 34 to back up the presidential result. Whereas we will continue to urge our people to remain calm because it's a critical juncture in our country. We want the body responsible for elections, the IEBC, to take whatever step is necessary, however painful. I don't think there is nothing more painful than letting this country go to the dogs. If it is a physical recount of all the ballots that will assuage all the suspicions, then let us have it as a country so that we can save this country. Because as it is right now, I do not think anybody in their right mind will accept the results that have been given by the IBC.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the Kenyans, not just in Nairobi, but across the country, that queued up for long, long hours to vote for the leaders that they wanted. It is so obvious that the elections were not conducted free and fair. And I think now we understand, and it's said, we understand why Chris Msando was murdered brutally. these elections were rigged in a very, very unjust way. I mean, if IEBC conducted these elections free and fair, then the forms that we are asking for should have been made available to all of us at the point that we were counting these votes, and they were not. I think there was a system put in place on how the parties, the political parties, will get this. What's the point of having meetings and agreeing on how the forms will be delivered to the various parties will be done, and then it's not done? For me, the difference, the gap, the increases never changed. I mean, when election results are fed from different parts of the country at different points, you would actually see a fluctuation somehow. But in this case, there was no fluctuation. Even in the woman race, in the woman rep race, there was no fluctuation. It's a constant 140,000 votes throughout as the numbers come in. All I can say is that the votes of the Kenyan Mwananchi has to count. That is democracy. It is not democracy when decisions of who takes over the leaderships of this country are done in boardrooms and are manipulated through IT systems. Okay? I mean, I think nobody in Kenya doubts why Chris Msando died now. We understand why. It was because of that manipulation. I'd like to appeal to all Kenyans. Let's maintain peace. We know that in the end justice will prevail, and it will be very obvious where this election went wrong. And we hope that the systems that this country has in place, from the judiciary all the way to the administration police, will hold this country together instead of trying to tear it apart. Let's not take sides. Let's try and ensure that Kenya remains peaceful and justice is done for the leaders that the people actually elected.